touch those burning memories.
All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. It is Sunday, so you know what that means. It is Slow Down Sunday, and it's a rainy day here in Connecticut, so perfect to just grab a cup of coffee and sit and relax and listen to some slow tunes. What are we talking about today? We're going back to this week, this day, in 1977. It's always the 70s, right? That was just like, that's why they have yacht rock radio, right? Number one in all the land is Barry Manilow. Looks like we made it. Looks like he made it to number one, and we're talking Barry Manilow for the first time here in the Rock Cave. 78 years old, born in Brooklyn. Let's run the numbers first before you have your comments. So 50-year career, or more than 50-year career, 51 top 40 singles on the adult contemporary chart where he spent his time, 13 number ones on that chart, 13 platinum albums, 6 multi-platinum albums. He's done music, he's done film, he's done Broadway, he's done commercials for McDonald's, Pepsi's, Band-Aid. He wrote the jingles or the songs, whatever it was, for all that stuff. He sold 85 million records worldwide, one of the top selling artists of all time, and yet the critics just don't really like him very much. They just don't usually have anything overwhelmingly nice to say for the most part, historically speaking. And he basically, for whatever reason, ended up being, I don't know, the butt of a lot of jokes. You know, Breakfast Club, when he comes in and says, "Don't mess with the bull, you get the horns," and he says, "Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?" Remember, that resonated well, because Barry Manilow, growing up as kids, it was our parents' music, right? That's what our parents listened to. Now, certainly as we got older, we listened to a lot of stuff our parents listened to, but Barry Manilow, I don't know. I never owned a Barry Manilow CD in my life, and I know plenty of you out there watching are Barry Manilow fans, and I even know who some of you are. So I'm not dissing Barry Manilow, I am not, but I'm just saying that it's complicated. It's complicated, but so many good songs. I Write the Songs, This One's For You, Weekend in New England, Mandy, this song, Looks Like We Made It, and even Read 'Em and Weep. We can talk about Read 'Em and Weep for just a second. When I went through my Meatloaf stage where I was buying every Meatloaf record I could in the early 90s, I came across Read 'Em and Weep on his Hits Out of Hell import record, and just love this song. I mean, I'm just a huge Meatloaf fan, and this song I thought was his, and he sings it, and it is so good. If you don't know Read 'Em and Weep from Meatloaf, it's awesome. It wasn't until much later that I learned that Barry Manilow has a version of it out there, and that's the one that apparently a lot of other people know. But if I play you the Meatloaf version, you're going to be like, yeah, I get it. Meatloaf does a good job. Anyway, how about Copacabana? I've never not liked Copacabana. I've always liked that song. Yes, it's a little over the top, but that's a great song. There's nothing not to like about that song. My only Barry Manilow story has to do when I worked at Moto Photo in 1987, the summer between college years. I developed pictures for summer. And you can imagine people take a lot of pictures of a lot of different things. Just trust me on that. But it turns out the local Barry Manilow fan club president lived in Enfield, Connecticut, and she brought in one day after a concert of his something like 40 rolls of 36 exposure film of his concert, and she wanted 4 or 5 copies of each one. So it was hundreds and hundreds of pictures of Barry Manilow. Now, when you do this job, you're looking at the negatives, and you can color correct for people to make the best quality picture. Problem is, he was wearing a yellow jacket under red lights. It was a color correction nightmare, and it took forever. It took me days. I was in Barry Manilow hell for days as far as printing pictures were concerned, so she could mail them out to those 4 fans. All right, so like I said, Barry Manilow, say what you will. I want to know what songs you like by him. I know there's a few out there who are going to talk about him and say these are the ones that we like, which is totally cool. So educate me a little bit on what you think are Barry's best songs. And obviously your song of the day today is the number one song in all the land in 1977. Looks Like We Made It. All right, enjoy it. Throw on some Barry Manilow. Get another cup of coffee. Have a great day. Looking forward to next week. And as usual, I'll catch you on the flip side.